Snow lovers of the South, even some Chicagoans are going to love this forecast, especially storm lovers of the South. We have a historic storm in the development, tells us the National Weather Service. This is either historic or very close to historic, and here's why. Storm systems here in the Midwest, the major winter storms consist of copious amounts of Gulf moisture, Arctic air, and deep low pressure. But what they don't always consist of is a subtropical jet from the Pacific Ocean, from a closed low, which the National Weather Service has just sent hurricane hunters to take samples of the storm system out in the Pacific Ocean by the Baja area. And those samples are going to greatly help the accuracy of the forecast for this weekend. In the levels of the 850 MB to 700 MB, 5,000 to 10,000 feet up, we have a 12 closed low off the Pacific Ocean that will be interjecting with the storm system and the Arctic air over the weekend. And depending on how that interjection takes place, the timing and strength, that will determine the track and even the QPF amounts of this upcoming major winter storm, very major winter storm, especially because it's hitting cities that don't normally get hit with such winter precipitation. Springfield, Missouri National Weather Service tells us that the storm track is now moving further north than what was originally forecasted. Or, put it a different way, it's back to what it was originally forecasted a couple days ago. But the QPF has also gone up, especially for the northern sides. In the snow areas, the QPF has gone up. Little Rock, Arkansas National Weather Service tells us an inch of QPF for the north part of the states, 2 inches for the south. I don't know if that's from before it went up or after it went up. But we also have a major variable here, which is a powerhouse Arctic high pressure system. The barometric pressure is 31.0, dropping out of Canada. That's very high pressure. That's why originally, when the storm system was only going to be 29.8, developing along the Gulf Coast, the pressure gradient was still going to be intense with strong winds. That's just because the high pressure was just so intense. But at this point, we even have an organized storm track, and even the organization of an organized storm system already, tells us the Paducah, Kentucky National Weather Service. Storm system develops off the Louisiana coast on Saturday, on Shabbos. It moves from Louisiana. It's a Gulf low. It moves into the eastern portions of Tennessee. 29.8 on the European computer model, intensifies to 29.66 or so. It then transfers its energy onto a redeveloping storm system on the East Coast. Very different scenario today than what we thought yesterday when the storm track was going to move just to the southeast off the Georgia coast, and I have not checked up on the southeast states to see how this will be impacting them. But the Chicago area, the official National Weather Service forecast, continues to not mention snow in their forecast for Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. But if you look at the European computer model, you have to wonder why it's not being mentioned. And I have a couple possibilities, but you see, you have strong northeast winds. Northeast winds from the position of the storm is setting itself up over Lake Michigan, which one would think would bring lake effect snow into the Chicago area. Well, lake effect snow is very localized. Even so, it's a question to me. Why is it not being mentioned in the forecast? Because back in the end of January 2022, we saw 4 to 8 inches across the Chicago area. Even O'Hare Airport, there might have even been some higher snow totals. But even the airport saw high snow totals from a lake effect snow event due to a storm system on the East Coast. So this would be something similar. But the National Weather Service does mention a chance of snow Motzei Shabbos and Sunday due to a piece of energy coming out of Canada interacting with this major winter storm moving across the south. Ice storm is going to be intense. That's the forecast for portions south of Interstate 40 in the Arkansas area. Little Rock, Arkansas is right around Interstate 40. We have portions south of Interstate 70 might be seeing the heaviest snowfall when you head over to the Kentucky area. Paducah, Kentucky, National Weather Service tells us that due to strong winds instability very high up in the atmosphere. That is something which one would think maybe could intensify snow precipitation rates. But we're talking about so high up in the atmosphere, it's by the dendritic growth zone. We're dealing with already the 600, 500 MB level, and that actually could cause a clashing and breaking of snow crystals, of ice crystals, which might actually bring down the very high snow-to-water ratios, might be brought down a little bit due to that instability. But the Kentucky area, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, southeast Missouri, that area really, Paducah, Kentucky National Weather Service tells us that's really getting the heaviest snow in a certain way. But Arkansas also, Saturday night is a good time for the heavy snow. Winter storm watches are in effect for large areas of the south central states, starting from Friday afternoon all the way through late Saturday night. That's for the south central states. We have St. Louis is even under a winter storm watch, tells us the National Weather Service. In their forecast discussion, it seemed like it was just the southern counties of that area, but when you hear the actual forecast, it sounds like it may have even been included in the whole area. One interesting thing is that Arctic high pressure is so dry, the air is so dry, a sharp cutoff is expected for that snow totals. In fact, the Springfield, Missouri National Weather Service says the GFS computer model is showing a great example of that. However, one county, you see 6 inches of snow in the southern portions, but nothing in the northern part of that county. So that's not even a high-resolution model. That's a global model, and the expectation is when the high-resolution models become available as we get closer to the event, that cutoff might even intensify. So that's something which is complicating the forecasts, and that sharp cutoff could produce major complications on the north side. We've seen that happen before. In fact, we had a storm in the winter of 2015 on the East Coast. It was supposed to be a historical snowstorm for New York. They got the snow, they got major snow, but it wasn't historical because there was a sharp cutoff, and the storm track was moved 50 miles east than what they originally thought. So we have a sharp cutoff with this one as well. But the storm track is going further north than what was originally forecasted. The Chicago area looks to be included in chances for snow due to the system interacting coming out of Canada for Saturday night and Sunday. Light snow, but one has to wonder why lake effect snow is not in the forecast for Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. For days already, the European computer model has been advertising northeast winds across the entire fetch of the lake by 5 p.m. Sunday evening. So one would think there should be snow. Anyways, we have the major change over here is the fact that the storm system has become taking an organized track, and you could find it on the computer model right now, developing in Louisiana for Saturday on Shabbos, moving to northeast Tennessee. It resembles a Gulf low. It has copious amounts of Gulf moisture. That's the forecast. Brutal Arctic air. And it's already even a little bit more intense than, it's already like an organized storm system. At first, the low pressure systems it wasn't really there, but we have that Pacific low. We're waiting for those Hurricane Hunter aircraft to come back with the samples. Once they come back with the samples of that Pacific storm, we'll have a much better idea of the storm track and what's going to be going on with this upcoming storm over the weekend. But the Memphis National Weather Service, Memphis, Tennessee, tells us that we are dealing with historical storm or near historical storm. They did not explain why, but the places probably that will be seeing the worst will be the ice storm areas, the freezing rain and sleet. That could bring down power lines and have a negative impact on vegetation, tells us the Southern Cities National Weather Service. An ice storm expected for some of the Gulf Coast cities. Mississippi is one of them. And currently, you could even see significant snow accumulation forecasted for Cincinnati, Ohio, if you look at the European computer model. I didn't check with the National Weather Service for Cincinnati, Ohio, but that's something that you see on the European computer model of several inches of snow, and this is something that is likely going to impact the mid-Atlantic area. We saw very large numbers just a couple days ago in those areas which will be hit with all snow. Might be getting very large numbers, and the reason why the numbers are brought down to a more normal high-end range of 4 to 8 or 6 to 10 or 6 to 12, 8-inch plus or something like that is just because of the mixture of the freezing rain and sleet. So we have a warm air advection that might get put into the storm system, and depending on, this is the Little Rock, Arkansas National Weather Service, depending on how much of that gets put in, that will also perhaps depend on the ice and snow line, what exactly happens there, and also could intensify the precipitation rate. So there's a lot going on with this upcoming storm. Until we get there, we have some beautiful weather taking place in Oklahoma and portions of northwest Arkansas with temperatures in the 50s this afternoon, but it's not like that in the other places. Chicago, Illinois, we have Arctic air already in place, but an Arctic front, another one comes through today, later today, and then another one comes through tomorrow. Each one could bring quick snow showers over the area, but the extreme bitter cold comes after Arctic front number 2, and temperatures drop below zero for tomorrow night. Afternoon highs stay below zero on Friday, and then we really go down really cold Friday night. Overnight lows 5 to 15 below zero. European computer model shows 14 below zero. Wind chills, tells us the National Weather Service, to 36 below zero Fahrenheit. That's Saturday morning. And you know, at 40 degrees below zero Fahrenheit, Celsius and Fahrenheit come together. They're exactly the same at 40 degrees below zero Celsius and Fahrenheit. Thank you for listening. I wish everybody a wonderful day. Stay safe. Check up on the latest forecast from your local National Weather Service city, and they will also have safety details of how to stay safe in the weather like this. And for snow lovers, there's many people that will be getting snow, forecasted to get snow, that don't normally see snow. So, and you could enjoy. It's a weekend system. But because it's the south and because it's going to be cold afterwards, you're going to have a lot of schools that will likely not have school in the south, even on Monday and even next week. Something that children can look forward to. I wish everybody a wonderful week. And for Chicago, again, it's consistently, every time I look at the European computer model on windy.com, every time except once, and even that one time we were still very close to the northeast winds, but Chicago was receiving snow Sunday late afternoon and evening, lake effect snow, due to the main storms, the position, Chicago's position, and relative to the main storm system out east.